Back to CountyLine TV. Today, the 370 is getting a birthday. Things got a couple issues right now. The starter sometimes starts and sometimes just spins. I bought a starter and I'm really hoping it's the starter. I'm really hoping I don't have to pull the trains and replace the flywheel, but we'll see here in about probably 20 or 30 minutes because it's not very hard to get out. Also, as you can maybe see in this shot, I'm not really certain, the back bumper won't stay on that side, so we're going to put some fasteners on it. Some Amazon quick latches because I'm cheap. And oh, the diff has gear oil all over it, so I'm going to see if it's leaking currently or if it just leaked out some of what I overfilled it when I welded the diff, or what's going on there. First things first, we got to check the fluid to determine what we do next. Let's get to work. Alright, as we roll into the car, I haven't actually looked at this myself yet. I just know that on like 350s, the starters come off pretty easy. It looks like it's this side. Yeah, there it is right there. It looks like it's way harder to get to than on a 350Z. That's sick. That's just what I wanted. I'm actually not stoked about that at all. Great. I looked at the new starter and I realized that the bolts that hold the starter to the motor are actually that one and that one. So they're really easy to get to, the bolts. The only thing that's going to suck is getting the battery cable off. Which I already disconnected the battery, so don't come at me in the comments. Okay, new discovery. Do you see what I see? The casing is broke off of the solenoid. No wonder it's not been working. At least I know it's not the flywheel. Also, I grabbed this thing a second ago. Let me see if you can see it while my hand's in there. It's just flopping around doing whatever it wants. Oh my god. Wow. So that's broke. I recently changed the motor mounts. You can see those in there probably. They're black, so they blend in with the darkness, but they're up there. Apparently when the motor mounts were broke, the starter was broke too. Wow. Well, I realized after fiddling around underneath the car for a while that if you just take the wheel off of the car, you can get to that freaking starter bolt so easy through just right underneath the frame rail. So now the cable's off, the plug and the two bolts are really easy to get to, so this thing will be off of here in no time. If you're a 370Z owner like me and you have the opportunity, I would definitely say just take a look at your engine mounts, and if you have a bad engine mount, which is really common on 350Zs and 370Zs, if you got a bad mount, take a good look at your starter. Check this out. This thing broke apart and was just dangling there, and this is like the piece that shoots the starter out. It's called a Bendix, I think. So mine was like sometimes just spinning and sometimes not shooting all the way into the flywheel. I looked at my flywheel the best I could. It looks pretty okay, but if this happens to you, it sucks. Like, I would have to try to start my car like 10 times. I haven't even driven this car in a long time because of that. The new one, you can see like all the casting is one piece. This is not broken. This is what it's supposed to look like. And then this is the garbage that I had. Also, I heard that HR 350Z starters will work on this, and I had the parts store order both of them, and I went and looked for myself. One's 8 tooth, one is 12 tooth. That's not to say they won't work, but they don't have the same tooth count. And then the wires that come off of them, these right here, where this one's like the male connector, or it's like the female in there, but male side plastic. The HR one is opposite, so they would actually plug into each other. So you'd have to rewire that too. If someone tries that, let me know, because the HR ones are significantly cheaper. But I didn't want to risk it because I don't feel like it. So I spent the extra money and I got the actual VHR one, not the HR one. I'm also going to take a second right here in the video to say, comment below any ideas you have for me to make a video of. I got lots of cars, I got lots of boats. This thing, I can't make a video on yet, but before too long, I will. This is a Nissan skiff with a Nissan trailer and a Nissan motor. So I had to buy this thing. It's so cool. I'm like obsessed with center console boats, so I had to have that boat. This I can make videos on really soon if you guys are interested. If you guys want to see any boat content, we're gonna replace the motor on this thing. That thing runs great, but it's just not big enough for this boat. There's a hole in the boat right now that needs welded up. If you guys are interested in boat content, let me know. Otherwise, the 15 is here, and I've got, well, you just saw some of the stuff that's here for it. You might have to rewind, notice that, but there's some stuff here for it. There's a lot more to do as well. The cooling system sucks. The oil cooler is smaller than that power steering cooler you see right there. There's also that mini four-wheeler. The engine's removed off of it, but I have a big motor to go on it. That's a 125 frame, and it's got a 212 on it, or a 224 on it. I mean, it runs good. It just doesn't move good. But if you want to see me go through the process of taking that clutched motor and making it work good on something that originally had a manual transmission, let me know. I'm open to your guys' ideas. I'm going to quit rambling. I've been talking a lot. No more of that. I'm going to get this starter back in. We'll see if this thing runs. So I'm not really doing this necessarily as like a how-to or anything, because we're tackling more than one project in this video. But if you happen to be following along at home and doing this to your own car, I'll give you a little pointer that I found out the hard way, because I did not watch any videos on how to do this. I just jumped right in it. There's a little bracket, I got it right there, and it goes here on the AC compressor. It holds this wire. You got to get rid of that bracket in order to get the starter in and out through this gap here. Has to go. No second guessing it. Take it off. But the new starter's on. We're about to see if it actually works. Which, the flywheel looked okay, so I'm thinking we're Gucci. Battery. Dang it. Heck yes. It's in limp mode right now, but that's okay. That is one project down on the 370Z, but that's not enough meat for this video. The next thing we're addressing is this. Check out how wet and grimy everything is on this diff. We got some runoff there. It's grimy here. And the axle boots are not torn. Except for maybe that one over there, but that's not where the grime is there. So, we gotta figure out if this diff still has any fluid in it, and if it does, or if it doesn't, I mean, where's it coming out of? Do I need to reseal the RTV, or is it a input shaft seal, or an axle stub seal? Where are we leaking this fluid? So on this diff cover, there's a drain plug there, and a fill plug right there. And thankfully, this Stu Kelly Motorsports diff brace still allows you to get to that fill plug. I could definitely see where it could very easily be in the way if it was designed differently, but it's not in the way. You can get right to it. So that's awesome. All I'm going to do is pull the fill plug and see if fluid comes out. If fluid comes out, it's full, it's good. If fluid doesn't come out, we have a problem. Oh! It's full. It's very full. That came out really fast. I'm lucky I got this plug jammed back in there so quick. So I'm assuming that all of that is just where when I welded the diff, I filled it up with the cover off and I filled it up really full. So it probably just spit a bunch out of the vent hole on the top, which is my fault. But on the bright side, there's plenty of gear oil in there. So we are good to go. I'm actually going to drive this car to work tonight now. Awesome. There's only one thing left on today's agenda before I can drive this car to work. And here it is. This bumper. The piece of plastic broke out of here where the bolt goes up there, and the piece of plastic that went in there that the bolt screwed into wasn't great, so I put a riv nut in there. Didn't work too good because this plastic was broke, and I was just trying to sandwich it. So I epoxied a piece of metal to this that like went down to here and came up and had that angle on it, had a hole in it, but the epoxy failed. It's still on the back of the bumper there. And then when that happened, this broke too. So this holding it up there is just pretty much not an option anymore. But you guys just hang out and follow along, and I'll show you exactly what we're going to do to fix it. Alright, and just like that, Amazon Quick Latch, you just push that button and yoink that thing off, and then there's just a couple screws up there if I need to take it off. But the idea is actually just to hold it on better, but still be removable. So that's awesome. And I'm cheap, so I use Amazon Quick Latches. But that's going to be it for today's video. I will be driving that thing to work again. Pretty stoked. I just got to throw the other side together. No big deal. Got to go in really early today, so I got to rush. But again, not a big deal. So like I said earlier in the video, comment below, let me know what you guys want to see. You know, I got a rallycross track in my woods. I've got a Crown Vic, an Explorer, another Crown Vic that needs a little bit of work. We got lots of stuff around here that we can play with and absolutely destroy. So just let me know what you guys want to see. Thanks for watching. Drop a like if you liked the video. We'll see you next time. Peace out. Am I all the way in frame right there?
Yeah.
Welcome back to CountyLine TV.